One of the most interesting and popular cultures around the world is the American culture. The American culture, as the idiom says, has a finger in every pie. Early English language and culture was a mixture of native, French, Scandinavian, Latin, and Christian influences. Despite that, they were seeking a new national identity, and this took ages to materialize. Eventually, the American culture reached what it is, which I'm gonna talk about in this presentation. The American culture right now. Most of the countries in America are expensive to live in. You need to have a good income in order to live in one of the major cities, such as New York, LA, or California. On the other hand, it's easy to find a job. America has 6% unemployment, which is little comparing to other countries. In other words, if you search for a job, you will find one. An interesting thing about the Americans is that when they get married, they don't have as arrangements as al-mahr or al-shabka. If you want to get married, you need an engagement ring, a steady income, and a house. In addition to a suit, of course, for the wedding day. And with some extra hours, you can afford these things. In the contrary with our culture, which costs an arm and a leg to get married, sometimes a kidney. And that because the prices of getting married is way higher than the average incomes. Anyway, Americans usually do their weddings in the backyard of the house. Everybody at the weddings dresses formally. They also make sure to bring the best of them to the weddings. 75% of the Americans are Christian, so they need to have a priest in order for the wedding to be done successfully. They usually play quite romantic music while everybody is chatting. Then the father of the bride walks her to the groom, and there are the flower girls, small girls throwing flowers. And there is also an interesting thing called the best man, which are the closer friends to the bride and groom. Then the priest does his work and they get married. After that, they go chat with the audience and dance together. Of course, Americans don't like commitments, so the average age to get married in America is 32. And if they want to have children, they would have 1 or 2 children, usually. In normal days, an American would get up early, have a light breakfast, and go to work. They have Saturdays as the weekend, and in the Sundays, they go to church to pray. I'm not really sure how the process of praying exactly, but I know they sing some old ballads in the process, such as Kaidam and Zaman, which is the first religious text in English literature. The major meal for them is dinner, and it is also important because it is the only time in the day where they sit together and communicate with each other. In funerals, the attendees usually wear black. The dead usually would be worn a suit for male and a dress for females. They put him or her in front of the attendees with the coffin opened. Then his beloved ones or her beloved ones step in for a word. After that, they take him or her in a van and put them on the hall using ropes. Now I'm gonna talk about 3 things I don't like about the American culture. First of all, I seem to find the sons are usually away from the parents and the family. There is too much independence. They would spend years without visiting their parents and they would be okay with it. I don't like this at all. Second, in every occasion, they include alcoholics, which will make someone eventually do things unconsciously, and this is dangerous. We heard many stories about that one who drove after a party while he was drunk, lost his life, or that one who stabbed someone without knowing it, or hurt someone because he was under drugs. And that's why I always thank our religion that we don't have these things. Third, it's a big country with a lot of cities full of different people, and it's almost impossible to clean the city from the bad ones. In 2018, 15,498 murders happened in America. So you have to be careful where to step out there. In the end, American culture has its do's and don'ts like every other culture in the world. And I am personally so interested in visiting America and experience living there. I'm sure I'd love it, no matter how hard it is.